Welcome to episode number 379 of the Beyond Social Media Show, the podcast for marketing, advertising, public relations, and communications professionals. You can find us by searching for Beyond Social Media Show. We are recording on June 12, 2022. A lot of things to talk about this week as usual, including Knitfluencers and Mathfluencers, educational video SEO, Slack says say my name, QR code commercial, gun marketing, doorbell ads, Facebook phishing, ridiculing white guys, and stick around for some stats about click-through rates by search rankings. You'll want to know about this, but we kick it off with best story of the week, and BL always has that honors. BL, what do you got? What's the best story?
Well, after the week we had, I needed to lighten this up a little bit. So this is a story about the internet's favorite knitter. This is a guy named Sam Barsky, and he knits sweaters with pictures of places that he goes, and then he posts pictures of himself wearing the sweaters from those places. So this has become his full-time job. He's got 117,000 followers on Instagram and 205,000 followers on TikTok. And he just posts these really short videos of himself wearing the sweater. And he's in the news now because he's in the process of completing his 157th sweater depicting Ellicott City, Maryland. And he's almost finished. So he's so far posted a sleeve that he's done, but he's knitted the Jerusalem Western Wall, Stonehenge, Niagara Falls, the Eiffel Tower, Times Square, and even a field of electrical pylons. His 100th sweater that he calls the sweater of sweaters features 34 pictures of other sweaters that he made, and he knit all those into the sweater. So he started documenting his knitting on Facebook in 2017 and then on TikTok in late 2020. And he says every place that crosses my eyes is a potential sweater. And he has a whole cult following, and the people who follow him get personalized birthday video messages where he wears a birthday themed sweater, and he charges pay what you can for those videos, and he usually completes 20 or 30 a day. He didn't want to say what his median payment is. He said, I don't want anyone to feel bad because someone else paid more, but people are going through hard times. He makes the video for free. I mean, what a sweetheart.
That's awesome. That and then the bass player next door is pretty awesome too, BL.
The bass player, yeah, right. That was that was just a passing car. Just
a passing car with a subwoofer that's pretty powerful. So, yeah. I have been doing video SEO for a client recently, and part of what you do with that is when you're embedding videos, there's a code, schema code, that you can use to enhance your search results for that video. That you embed into the page that you're embedding the video on. And so there's a new aspect of this that has just been launched by Google. This is from a Search Engine Land article by Barry Schwartz. So they are launching a new learning video rich results. And so this is this new form of rich results for videos will show up on English desktop and mobile search results, and it's for academic learning content. So Google defines learning videos as providing educational level and concept and skills covered in the video. So it has learning specific information that's structured data with learning for that learning specific information. So that's the schema that I'm talking about, the code that you embed associated with the video. Quoting from Google, learning video markup is intended to give more visibility into the educational contents of the video. The markup can hold information about various concepts and skills taught in the video. So it's a better way of targeting skills and the stuff that you learn from the video within search results. There are some technical requirements in addition to the code. The video must be publicly available to watch without a subscription. The video has to be at least 30 seconds long, and the markup must be added to the page where viewers can watch the video. So you can't add it to a paid page if the video that is associated with is not included on the page.
Wait, so you do this on your website as opposed to doing it on YouTube?
Correct. You add the code to the website that you've embedded the video on the web page, and then that will help it show up in search results like you see other YouTube videos, but it'll be learning specific, educational specific type of markup.
But is it academic education, or can it be like what a business is trying to explain about something that they do?
I think it's a little bit unclear, but I think it can be just educational content. It doesn't have to be like from an accredited university or something like that. I think it can be just anybody who creates learning educational video, but it has to be educational stuff.
Have you tried it yet?
I haven't. It's just rolled out. It just launched, so I don't even know if it's.
Oh, I have something new to try it on. That's very cool.
Yeah.
So this is another influencer story, and I just love this because you know how you sat in school and your teachers talked about stuff that really wasn't about what kids are into. So millennial educators have decided that they're going to meet Gen Z students right where they're already hanging out, which is on TikTok. And so this is from a source, the story in the information by Kaya Yuriev. And so sixth graders at a middle school in Richmond, Texas, they can't wait to get into this certain math class because they heard rumors that not that they heard that the class was easy or that they'd get to watch a lot of movies between lessons. The reason is the class is taught by Deidre Kell, who's a teacher with 1.5 million TikTok followers. And her TikTok account is filled with math-focused videos with tips and tricks for adding fractions, subtracting integers, multiplying by 8. And she stands in front of her classroom's whiteboard, usually with a trending but appropriate TikTok song playing in the background, and sprinkled between these educational videos are sponsored clips that she films for advertisers like MasterCard's Girls for Tech STEM education program, and the fast food chain Sonic. They donate for local school projects that she does ads for. And she started on TikTok during COVID, knowing kids would be ignoring the school lessons. When they got off Zoom, they were going to go right to TikTok. And so she built her following ever since then. And I just think this is so brilliant. I wish I had a math teacher that was half as cool. You know, the idea that you go to where kids are already is so simple and yet so far from the mainstream.
That's awesome. Anything that will make math interesting and entertaining and compelling is I'm all for.
Exactly. And she's adorable too, you know, and the videos go really fast and they're just right.
No, it's very smart to go where your audience is. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. This is fascinating. There's a local auto dealership called Luther Auto here in Minnesota, and they are running a 30-second spot that is absolutely unique, and a lot of people don't know what to think of it. There's a bunch of people who think it's just stupid and horrible and not effective, and I'm kind of on the opposite side, although at first glance I probably would have been on the former group. But they're running a 30-second spot on TV right now, the first frame of which is a red badge that comes into the center of the screen that says "We buy!" ! And then it animates and moves down to the bottom right corner of the screen. It's replaced by a QR code against a black background, and then lutherauto.com written below it. And that's it. For 30 seconds, it just shows the QR code, no music, no voiceover, just 30 seconds of a QR code, and it just looks very odd. So, but if you watch it in context of the television that you're watching, there's an ad in front of it and there's an ad behind it. The ad in front of it and behind it are loud and they're typical ads, and this one catches your attention because it's so simple and there's no sound. So it just, you have to pay attention because all of a sudden there's no sound. So I think it really works well. I have a clip of it from my TV in context with two ads playing on either side of it that we'll embed in the show notes for people to watch. But it's just very simple and very clever idea. The QR code actually leads to a landing page. Very simple mobile optimized landing page that says we'll buy your car, no trade needed, no obligation, no hassles. You enter your license plate in and get an instant offer on how much they'll pay for your car.
So just to be clear, the ad before and after is by them.
No.
Oh, it's just anybody's ad.
It's anybody's ad, but everybody else's ads are the typical ads. So there's all this cacophony on either side of their ad. And their ad is silent, and because it's silent, it draws that attention because you're used to listening, you're used to hearing that loudness of TV ads during the TV breaks, but all of a sudden there's no silence. You're like, what's going on?
Because usually they get actually louder than the programming.
Right.
But what's so interesting is how QR codes are absolutely everywhere. And for a while they were kind of dead. They just weren't happening. If you had one, it was kind of like, why are you still doing that? And now they're everywhere. They're in every window. They're in every ad. They're on every show. And it's just, I think that that's a actually brilliant idea. Yeah. I wish we knew the stats for how it was working for you.
Yeah, I do too. I'm running a TV ad campaign right now with QR codes. It's not like this. It's a normal ad with a QR code in it, to be determined on. I'm doing it just to get the data basically, and how many people will scan it, because I have no idea. I have no benchmark data to figure that out, but we'll see.
Well, I have a product that you're supposed to register it by scanning the QR code, and then I don't know what you do with it. So I scanned it and it said save it. I saved it to my desktop, and it was just a little code. So I mean, just a little line, one line, and then I don't know what you do with that. So I had to go to the company and say, okay, now what do I do? So I mean, as much as it's very simple to scan it, something should happen as soon as you do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in that case, it sounds like there's nothing that's supposed to happen except that you've just given them some data for as a customer. So now they,
but it's on the box. It's not on the website.
Right, but by scanning it, they're going to get some geographic targeting data and stuff, and probably some stuff that they can retarget you with before.
When you wait. When I scan something onto my phone, the company will get my data?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I had to upload the scan somewhere.
No, I mean, the scan by definition is going to collect the at the very least, it's going to collect your geo-targeting, your longitude and latitude data.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so how we always have issues, like we apologize because we can't pronounce people's names.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're not the only ones with that issue, and so Slack has added a pronunciation tool, which I don't have so far, but there's no excuse for mispronouncing names. You can state your name in an audio clip, and or you can add a phonetic pronunciation, and you can do that on LinkedIn too, but you can include that in your profile. And profiles have been redesigned to make them more streamlined, and there's 3 key sections on Slack. One's your contact details, and others focused on letting colleagues know which people you work with the most often on the Slack. And then there's this expanded about me section where you can include details like your start date, what your job entails, and your personal interests. And then the pronunciation feature started rolling out June 1st. I don't have it on any of my Slacks yet, but I can't wait until I do, because that is so cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And more of it. Come on, bring it on. We need some help. Right.
Yeah, I mean, the names, they're not easy.
Yeah. So that brings us to the worst. And I've got a worst. I've got a TV commercial. I said one that was good, and now I've got one for worst. This is another local ad that's running in Minnesota by Kinetico, which is a water filtration system company, and they're running a TV commercial here in Minnesota that features a local celebrity whose name is Ron Shera. The premise of the commercial is a neighbor keeps coming to Ron Shera's door to take advantage of his Kinetico purified water. So first time he needs some water for his ice cubes. Second time he wants to do his laundry. Third time he's got a goldfish in a bag and the goldfish needs fresh water or something like that. And then the last time his dog needs a bath. But each time he comes to Ron Shera's house, the neighbor rings the doorbell, which of course drives your pets crazy. Ron Shera is the host and producer of popular outdoor TV shows in Minnesota. And who's more likely to have dogs that will go crazy at the sound of the doorbell than outdoors people, right? They're more likely to have dogs. The viewers of his own show, he's driving crazy. So apparently Kinetico hates owners, pet owners, because it's insane. Never put doorbell sounds in your TV ads, please.
I know, and that happens not just there. That happens quite a lot, actually.
4 times in one commercial.
Lucy would go out of her mind.
Uh-huh.
The other thing is like a phone ringing and it has the same ring as mine, and I'm like looking for my phone. That's so annoying. But on a much darker note, this is in the wake of all the mass shootings in quick succession in the US. Campaign US investigated whether ad tech firms are inadvertently or not helping monetize the arms industry, and the bottom line is they are. This is from Creative Campaign. It's by Jessica Hagite, and the ad tech firm Criteo, hope I'm pronouncing that right, violated its own policies using its technology to enable Beretta, one of the largest sellers of guns in the US, to track people who visited its website and advertise to them elsewhere on the internet. So facilitating this ad retargeting violated Criteo's advertising guidelines that prohibit ads that display anything related to firearms and weapons, including accessories, except it doesn't. And so as a result of this investigation, Criteo told Campaign it's ending its relationship with Beretta but by not enforcing their own vetting process. Check My Ads, which is a company that monitors programmatic ads, says that they're 100% complicit and that they knew that this was happening. So Matt, here we go, bring me slack. Matt Prohaska, CEO and principal of data and marketing consulting practice, Prohaska Consulting, says the ad industry should implement waiting periods for arms companies to buy and retarget ads. That seems like such a no-brainer. And in addition, advertisers should weed out partners that monetize the arms industry. He says buyers should add to their block list publishers that take money from inappropriate gun makers and social publishers that allow the dissemination of violent criminal behavior. And Campaign also found that Google is guilty. A variety of their ad products tagged on websites of at least 8 major arms manufacturers, including Beretta, Daniel Defense, Glock, Remington, Savage Arms, Smith & Wesson, Sig Sauer, and Mossberg. A gun made by Daniel Defense, which I never heard of before, was used in the May 24th mass shooting in Uvalde. And one of Remington's weapons was allegedly used in the May 14th shooting in Buffalo, New York. The websites had tags for Google Ads serving and retargeting products, including DoubleClick, Google AdWords, AdWords conversion, Google dynamic retargeting, and Google AdSense. So anybody can set up an account to use Google services, but Google can control who can monetize using its services. They have publisher policies that restrict serving ads on gun-related content and prohibit the promotion of guns across its services. Unfortunately, those gun ads from arms manufacturers and their attempt to monetize them slip through Google's detection systems, which is simply disgusting.
Yeah, well, not surprising.
Not surprising. I think it's very surprising. I mean, this is not, a new issue.
Well, to think of over the couple of the last, I don't know how many years we've been doing this podcast, of how many things have slipped through the system. It's not surprising.
Yeah, but how many of those things killed children?
A lot of things are killing. We've talked about this story endlessly. It's just a different subject. It's just a different person.
Well, you
different
can't
group of,
stop talking about it because it's still happening. You know, it is not happening in other countries. Do you know that in Switzerland, every single household owns a gun and the people in it know how to shoot it? They don't go around killing people. They don't go around shooting children. I mean, this is an American problem, and a company like Google should not be involved in it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I'm just saying, it's not surprising. We've talked about this. This story has been talked about by you and I over the years. It's just it's a different subject of the story, but it's.
What are you saying, that we shouldn't
basically the
talk
same
about it?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
No, I'm not. Don't be
Okay.
offended, BL.
I was getting offended because I thought you were telling me I shouldn't have, brought this up.
I told you it was not surprising. I just explained why. That's
Okay.
all I'm saying.
Got it.
All right. So at the risk of sounding like a whiny white guy, here is a diversity cautionary tale. I think I've talked about this one in a previous episode, but here's another experience with it. So training videos. In my previous agency, I had to do, as many people do, cybersecurity training, and you basically watch a bunch of videos, answer some questions that demonstrate that you've learned what you're supposed to be taught in the videos. But in the previous agency I was at, they used some videos by a company called Terra Nova Security. And they're animated cybersecurity training videos. And they featured a woman and a man of color, and then a white guy. Blake is the white guy. And Blake is the idiot who violates all of the rules, right? He's the idiot.
And of course, his name is Blake.
His name is Blake, and he's a white guy. And he's just like, he's clueless. And every cybersecurity rule he violates. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I get it. No offense taken. You're just a little clumsy in your execution. And for that one, since it's animated, my response the first time was just make everyone aliens, and you're not going to have you're not going to have this problem, right? But so I had to take cybersecurity training again, and this time from the video was from an organization called StaySafeOnline.org. They use live actors instead of animation this time. Featured a black tech guy and a white woman on her first day of the job, and a white guy who was the woman's boss. And the white guy, of course, was a complete idiot, breaking all the cybersecurity rules. And look, I'm all in favor of diversity and everything, but the execution of these videos is so clumsy that what you're doing when you want to, the objective is to teach people about cybersecurity. You're putting one group of people, the white guys, off, and they're likely to like cross their arms because they're being portrayed as this idiot, and maybe shut down and not learn what they're supposed to learn. So it's not about diversity, it's about being smart in your execution and being understood by your audience. So 2 examples, we'll embed both of the examples on the show notes so people can see what I'm talking about there. There you go.
But I think this happens not just in, in training videos. A lot of characters on television shows where, the man is usually the white guy is kind of an idiot or clumsy or, not the smartest, not the sharpest pencil in the box. And, there's
not that there's not plenty of real life examples to demonstrate that.
Right, of course.
White guys complete morons, but yeah.
Yeah, well, this is like your dancing middle-aged guys in the ads that you
exactly. Yep, exactly.
So again, a dark story from me in the worst section here. There's been an enormous Facebook phishing scandal, and this phishing campaign on Facebook earned its propagators roughly 59.85 million since it started in September 2021. Millions of Facebook users' credentials were harvested using legitimate app services. The source here is Toolbox Tech, and Sumit Wadhwani is the reporter. And this was discovered by Pixum Security, and the campaign's been active since September 2021 on both Facebook and Messenger, but it got really successful this April. what happened was AI-driven cybersecurity vendor Pixum Security stumbled on a stealth phishing campaign that was exploiting Facebook user accounts, and they found that they were using them through legitimate online services. So the origin is possibly in Colombia, the country, and the fishers have earned tens of millions of dollars in revenue through ad referrals through the campaign. They've been harvesting our credentials from Facebook and have impacted millions of users. I haven't gotten any notice from Facebook, have you? The New York-based cybersecurity company Pixum detailed the technical and operational aspects of the malicious campaign, it's still going on.
Well, again, I say I'm not surprised.
Well, you know, it's just why I don't use Facebook anymore. I mean, it's just one more reason why I don't use Facebook anymore, because it's just a cesspool.
All right, we've got you ended the worst with another dark story, so let's turn it around, BL, and give me something to smile about.
Okay, this happened last week and I love this story. Heineken had a bottle opener that would shut down all your work apps on your computer. So they developed this functional gadget and it closes work applications when you crack a beer with it. It's part of a push to address the whole issue of work-life balance. And, you know, apparently we're working a whole lot more since we're working at home. This is from a Marketing Dive story by Peter Adams, and their press release says Heineken is addressing this growing work-life imbalance with the closer. It's an outlandish high-tech bottle opener that immediately shuts all work applications when a bottle of Heineken is opened with it. And there's a campaign film that is the anecdote to the increasing demands of work on our always on culture. And so the closer opener itself is a satirical symbol that, you know, we don't close down at the end of the day. So it resembles a traditional bottle opener and it has Heineken's name on it. And in the film, it shows all these people feeling overloaded with work demands, and a lot of them are, several of them are in a bar, and they quickly unplug as they are unplugged, rather, as they snap the cap off a Heineken. It shuts down their laptops. So it carries a clear satirical edge, but it aligns with how brands are making concrete efforts to tackle the tough realities in the world that's been reshaped so much by COVID-19. It's intended to symbolize the power that workers have to shut things down if they so choose. And it leverages Bluetooth, and it'll put all nearby laptops to sleep. And if somebody opens a Heineken bottle. So consumers had a chance last week on June 8th at a website portal, and it was only open for 1 hour. And of course, you know, they all were taken. It was at 10 a.m. Eastern, but the tagline on the video says, I love this, work responsibly.
That's good. That's good. The tagline is good. My question though, a couple, I guess, no, one primary. Does it only work with Heineken?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not going to be using that app.
But it's a great idea. What a great idea.
Not a bad idea. So let's go on to cool tools, and I've got one. I'll let you or hold on. You've got two, right?
Yeah.
You go first.
Okay, so this is called SnapLink, and it's from Product Hunt, and it lets you generate custom link preview images for your web pages from code. And this is for you, Dave. You know, you design your preview with HTML/CSS and vars2. You copy your link and you paste it on your site, and the social preview images are show a snippet of your web page when they're shared. So it's the first thing that users see. It's kind of like a storefront, you know, a social preview images. It's kind of like what you see on Netflix if you are looking around for something to watch and you get a quick, you know, a quick view of what it's about for a few seconds. It's kind of like that, but you have to code it, of course, and you can do that.
So it, like what, when you hover over a link, it pops up a preview of the next page?
I believe that you can put it like in your email. I think you can put it places. It's a social preview image.
Yeah. It's more coding than I want to do.
Apparently it's
not a bad
fairly
idea.
simple. It's
Not a bad
fairly
idea,
simple.
but yeah.
Yeah, it's not that hard, but
Okay.
too hard for me.
Yeah. Me too. So mine is this is coming to LinkedIn. Business manager. This is from Search Engine Land's Nicole Farley, who reports that LinkedIn is introducing a business manager as a centralized platform for large companies and agencies to manage the people, ad accounts, and business pages that are involved in marketing on LinkedIn. So through this business manager, you can view and manage your teams, your ad accounts, the pages that are associated with it, business partners from a central place. It allows for easier management of administrative tasks like permissions and billing, and gives you the ability to share and update matched audiences across ad accounts. Oh my God, Facebook needs to include this because that's such a pain in the butt with Facebook. It's available in the coming weeks, quote unquote, no specific date cited. So apparently it will be rolling out, but this is a welcome new feature for LinkedIn, because if you're managing multiple accounts, it makes things a lot easier.
The absolute worst platform on the internet is Yelp. And putting anything on Yelp is absolutely torturous. Half the time it doesn't work at all. Half the time you do it and then you find out what didn't actually happen, and you have to upload your pictures several times. It's just the worst program there is. I hate that program, and I have to use it every day for multiple clients, and it makes me crazy every single day. Anyhow, there's also a new, easier way to find files in Google Drive if you have Google Workspace. It's in addition to seeing a file name, owner, modification date, and size, there's now a column that has location information in the search, recent start, and trash web views of Google Drive. And it makes it easier for you to differentiate between similarly named files, which is a big problem, that are stored in different locations. And so you can find exactly what you want more quickly. And I also find in Workspace that when we're sharing drives, like what the owner of the drive sees is different than what the other people see when you go to search. So something that might come up easily for me might not necessarily come up easily for you. So hopefully this might be some sort of an improvement. I don't know. But also one more, YouTube has shared a video, 5 ways YouTube Shorts can help superpower your channel. And it's all about how to use them, which I mean to learn.
Very good. And pro tips.
Yeah, this is from Hootsuite, and it's really very useful. It's a 2022 size image guide for every social platform, and it has tips on best practices. So I'll have a link in the show notes.
Sprout Social has that as well. It's really good.
Yeah, it's really helpful.
No. All right, let's wrap this up with some stats. This is a click-through rankings by search engine results pages, click-through rates by search engine results page rankings. This is from a 2020 survey. It's probably I would think it's completely accurate, just because this kind of stuff doesn't change that much. But Citrix is the company that compiled analyzed over 80 million keywords from billions of search results to understand click-through rates in Google search. And so what they found is the average click-through rate for the first position, the first link in Google for any given search, is 28.5%. Beyond the first result, then the percentages fall. The second position, the average click rate is 15.7%, and in the third position, it's 11%. 55% of the clicks come from the top 3 links. That's not very surprising given how good Google is at delivering the results for people. But when you get down to the 10th position, so each set of Google search results, each page has 10 links in it. The last link in a set of search result only gets an average of 2.5% of the people searching clicking on that result. But then global, this is basically global click-through rates, they're interesting, but also when there's different elements in the search results, like the site links that occur underneath a website. So there's like 4 or 5 links per position, have different click-through rates as well. So they have data analyzing that. So for a site link, and that's typically when you do a brand search, there's the home page of the brand is the first link, and then there's 2 to 4 additional links below that listing that might be the about page or the newsletter page or the blog page or whatever. Those get much better click-through rate than pure organic search, 46.9% versus 34.2. So you think about it, there's more links to choose from in the first position, right? There's 1 to 5 links, so it's more likely people are going to click on it. The worst click-through rate is found when there are commercial searches where there's Google shopping ads or Google ads are shown. So with Google shopping ads, the click-through rate is 13.7% on the first link, and on the Google ads, it's 18.8% on the first link. And that just because the ads are pushing the organic results further down the page, it's more likely to affect those first links. So I'll put a link to the full results in the show notes for people to check out.
That sounds worth reading. Absolutely. So that brings us to the end of episode 379 of the Beyond Social Media Show, which we have been doing since 2012. You find us by searching Beyond Social Media Show. Links to everything we talked about today will be at beyondsocialmediashow.com/379. And I am here with David Erickson. On Twitter, he's D Erickson. On Instagram, he's DE Erickson. On YouTube, he's eStrategy, and he blogs at e-strategyblog.com, which he's much better at keeping up to date than I am about my blog. I'm BL Achman. I'm What's Next on Twitter. My blog is What's Next Blog. YouTube channel is What's Next Blog. My website's blachman.com, and the show again, beyondsocialmediashow.com. And on Twitter, we're at BS Media Show. You can listen and subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher. You can tell your smart speaker, play Beyond Social Media Show. And we do hope when you go look at the show notes, you will subscribe to our newsletter. Thanks for watching today.
Thanks for watching.